Hello everybody and welcome to my very first One Piece chapter review, chapter 1083 if I'm not mistaken. This is something I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've got a couple other channels, but this one I want to dedicate solely to chapter reviews and other One Piece discussions because if you can't tell, One Piece is kind of my whole life. We're going to go ahead and get into it. I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for liking One Piece. I don't know why I'm thanking you for that. Like, I'm not Oda. This isn't my story. But it means a lot that I get to share this with somebody because this story has very quickly taken over my whole life. If you're watching this, obviously you know the feeling. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So right off the bat, I just want to say how awesome it is to actually be there as Sabo explains these things to Dragon and Ivankov. I think a lot of people assumed that Oda was just going to cut away because, to be honest, Egghead Island arc is kind of like we're literally everywhere. We're on Egghead. We're on Hachinoso with Garp and Aokiji. Now Sabo's in it. Kuma's on the Red Line. A lot of shit's happening, and I really didn't expect for us to actually see what's happening at the Reverie. So, like, that's really exciting. I was really, really happy that we just kept going. And the next thing that really kind of dialed me in, God's Knights. Dragon mentions God's Knights. Now, I think the way that this is phrased is like I guess they're fighters. That'll be interesting to see. I mean, it just seems like when I saw this, the first thing that I thought was like, okay, here comes Oda. This is the ending, and he's still bringing us like scary silhouettes to hint that, oh, what are the Straw Hats gonna do when God's Knights show up? Like, there's so many people we have to beat, but here goes Oda, like, I can get some more people in here, and he probably can, and it's gonna be amazing, but it's just like, you know, like, oh man. So we keep going, and Sabo's explaining what happened at the Reverie, and we see the newspaper clippings of him standing over King Cobra's body with a gun, I think. He keeps going, and we see the admirals there, Fujitora and Green Bull, fighting the Revolutionary Army's captains. And I think that the next thing that I thought of when I saw this part, again, very cool to actually be seeing this, but the first thing, and really the prevailing like idea that I got from this chapter, is Green Bull is kind of sorry, right? Like, he's just kind of ass, like the worst admiral of the lot. I think we can all agree, and the reason I say that is he's trading blows with one of the revolutionary captains. I forgot their name. Morley. The revolutionary captain Morley, which, don't get me wrong, she's a pretty good fighter. She seems like she can hold her own. But come on, I just can't reasonably like think of Aokiji or Kizaru like spending less than 2 minutes with this person. And here goes Green Bull giving a whole speech again before he runs away, I assume. I just imagine that, you know, Green Bull gets bodied by somebody. I don't see him. He did beat Weevil. I think we got confirmation on that or heard about that. Somebody said it. I didn't see it, so to be honest, I kind of think he just got lucky. I just think that we should all, if we didn't think that already, Green Bull is kind of stupid. I don't know. Or at least just the weakest admiral in the group. I don't know who's going to fight him, but you know, I don't know. I kind of think Usopp could take him. Hot take, maybe, but I don't know. He doesn't seem that impressive to me. But it keeps going. Sabo continues, and he eventually meets up with Kuma, and we see Bonnie rushing to save her father too, of course. And it culminates to Vivi talking to Lucci. Now, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. I thought that it was really cool seeing Lucci kind of be like, don't worry, we'll protect you. And Vivi going like, oh, like you protected Shirahoshi? And Lucci just kind of like, he seems kind of bothered. He seems like, and I could be wrong, I don't put anything past Lucci, because, you know, it's still like, don't get me wrong, he still hasn't won me or probably anyone else over. But it seemed like he was kind of disappointed that he didn't. Maybe that's the face that he was making. It's kind of the impression that I got, which is interesting because if Lucci really is coming full circle, I always thought that it was weird that Lucci has a parrot on his shoulder. Well, it's a pigeon, but like you know, that's for pirates, right? Like, I've never seen, like, there's no stereotype of a cop having a pigeon or a parrot on his shoulder. Like, Lucci, it kind of feels like if Oda's just hinting that Lucci's eventually going to be a pirate, or maybe even eventually on our side, that would just be the most Oda thing to do ever, by having it be just shown in our face this entire time. I know that's wild speculation, just off of just the recent Lucci scenes from Egghead and this one. He might not even really be upset that Vivi's calling him out for not protecting Shirahoshi. Like, Lucci's kind of a dick. In fact, Lucci actively protected the Celestial Dragon, trying to make Shirahoshi a slave. So it's still, and Lucci's still kind of an asshole. But, you know, maybe he's coming around. I don't know. We're gonna keep our eyes out for that. But it keeps going, and then of course the big cliffhanger is King Cobra has an audience with the Celestial Dragons. I think also Pell and Chaka is there, whatever their names are, which, I don't know, we know where this ends, but it's, I guess, a cliffhanger nonetheless. And there is no break next week. At least I didn't see that there was a break next week from the ending of the chapter. So this will be really, I hope we keep going, which now I have faith that we keep going. It'd be a really dick thing for Oda to do, to just, now he cuts away. Like, now we go back to Egghead and figure out what's going on with Luffy and them after, like, Sabo's in the middle of explaining all of this. So, I'm really excited. I'm also very excited that this is my very first chapter review. Seems kind of like, compared to the other ones that we've been getting, I mean, this is kind of like a random one to start with, but we're going to keep going. But yeah, you know, if you watch this, thank you. Let me know what you think. Thank you. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week too.